All right, what we're going to do today is we are going to start our crane project, and step one is understanding the design criteria, the minimums, maximums, and creating a rough draft for your crane. Now, the first step we're going to do is we need to understand this crane sheet that I provided you with. All right, I provided you with this so you can reference this. We're going to design a crane, a model crane, cantilevered crane that's where we're going to subject it to a weight load to see how much weight it can hold. And that involves your design and what you're going to do with it. As a designer, you first need to complete 2 thumbnail drawings, and I will go over that in this video. Cranes need to be planned out. You'll develop several drawings showing side views of the tower and the cantilevered parts. That will be part 2 in the video. Number 3, drawings need to include appropriate dimensions, and that will also be included in on our drawings today for thumbnails so we can draw a full-size drawing, and that'll be on video 2. The cranes must be at least 8 inches tall. Now, one thing you need to understand about that is what we're going to do then is we're going to come down to here. I'm going to measure from the base of your crane to the bottom of your jib. Now, some of the vocabulary that we're going to be using is in your packet. It's on right here. This is the jib, the counter jib, the mass, all right, and the base. So you need to reference this when you think about as far as a crane. Now, the measurement that I just referenced to is bottom of the base to the bottom of the jib needs to be a minimum of 8 inches. And above the jib, you need to have a minimum of 2 inches. What do I mean by that? From the top of the jib up, we need to have 2 inches, all right? We need to have that 2 inches onto there built up. Every crane will do that. Here is a little different style. But it's the same thing. It has to measure up 2 inches. Now, the base right here on this design, from here to here is 8 inches. Now, can you have your crane longer than 8 inches? The mast can be longer than 8 inches. All right, it's totally up to you, but minimum is 8 inches from the base. The jib must be 14 inches long. Here's the jib, must be 14 inches long. Now, if you take a look, there's an angle on this one. I'm not measuring there. I'm measuring from your longest point to longest point on that as far as the length of your jib. This is more of a triangular jib. This is more of a rectangular style jib, and I'll be measuring that whether it's 14 inches long. And the counter jib. The counter jib, this crane right here, the design is right in the center of the crane. Now, you can fluctuate that as far as where you set it in your crane to hold the appropriate amount of weight. But on one side of your crane, you need to have a minimum between here and here, a minimum of 4 inches. You can center that, but you need to have it sticking out one side of your crane, a minimum of 4 inches. This one is pretty much, but it's just a little bit off center from here to here versus from here to here. It's very little, but it is a little bit. So remember, 4 inches minimum here on this side or that side does not make a difference. The structure must use a provided base. I have a provided base for you that you're going to be using. Your structure must be able to clamp onto the vices of our tables, all right? It must be able to structurally clamp on, and I will show you that in just a minute or two. You're going to have 2 hooks so the testing containers can go onto your structure. Now these two hooks are right here. You need to have two hooks on your crane, and those are provided in the packet. And I will show you the packet here in just a minute. Now one of the limitations on this is you need to have this hook or that hook or any hook need to be within 1 inch on the end of the jib. If you notice, this one is right on the end of the jib, and you can have both sides like that, or you can have it within 1 inch of the jib, but not any closer. It has to be on the outside or within that 1 inch frame. You only can use the materials I provide you by the instructor, and I will provide you a kit, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. None of your structure can touch anything beyond the base that's on the table. You need to develop a list of materials mathematically, and that will be in a future video. No materials can be laminated. If you look at this crane right here, nothing is laminated. What do I mean by lamination? Is two pieces are glued together like this. There is no lamination going on in this crane. Is there any lamination going on in this crane? No, there's no lamination at all. Now, in your bag, you're going to find a list of materials. What you're going to be provided with is a pack of sticks. Everything will come in a Ziploc bag like this. You're going to given the appropriate amount of popsicle sticks, the appropriate amount of hot glue. You will get tag board to be used as gussets if you choose to use that. You're going to be getting a base. You will be getting 2 wires. These wires are just recycled wire from our electrical unit. So you're going to get the 2 wires. You will get a piece of string. That will consist of the kit, and you cannot use any other materials than what's provided. If you have any questions on that, feel free to ask. Now, part of this is up here, it says 3/8 holes can be drilled into the base. Now, these holes can go partially through or all the way through. Here is a blank base. Can you put your structure right on this alone anyways? Yes, you can. But if you want to drill holes in your base, that is okay. And we will provide those drills, or if you're at home, you can drill those holes if you have a drill at home. Now, moving on to our rough draft. Here's what we need to do is you're going to provide 2 rough drafts, all right? 2 different styles. Now, if you look right here, these are different than this. And the reason why I'm having you do 2 rough drafts, or the thumbnails for this, is due to sometimes you design one thing, then if you design something else, it'll spur up some added things that you didn't see before, or maybe you see someone, one of your partners or whatever you see on the internet or something. I want 2 different designs, even though these are pretty much the same, but they are different. Now, if we take a look, the top one, see we have 3-sided here, see it? 3-sided crane here, kind of 3-sided, I guess. We have a 4-sided base. Now you can also have a rectangular 4-sided jib and a 4-sided base. Now that will be totally up to you as far as how you want to approach that. That is completely up to you. Now if we take a look, remember you got your minimums and maximums. Make sure that you go back to these sheets as you're designing. Go back to those and reference those. All you're going to do is just start out with whatever you think that you want. Now, I'm going to leave that totally up to you on this one, all right? How you want to approach that. But I do know that the base is 3/4 of an inch. All right? Because you got to remember it's going like this, not like that. So then you will design whatever you feel that's in there as far as what you think structurally that's going to hold. You need to create 2 of those with measurements. Now, from here to here, remember it was 8 inches. From here to here, it is a minimum of 14. From here to here, it's 4 inches. You need to provide all those measurements in your rough drafts, like I'm showing right here. You need to have all of these measurements in there so we can see how things are done. Then you will bring that up to me and I will sign off just to make sure that you have the minimums and maximums. I'm not going to tell you what to design, how to do it. That's up to you, and that's a big part of this project. If you notice, I have indicated that this is going to be four-sided. This is going to be more of a triangular shape. Now, if I do something different, maybe I will have a square right here pointing here like on that one design, and this will be triangular. I need to know that so I can help you through if you have any questions. Now I want to show you, we will measure things through the use of a scale. Your crane will be put on that scale and measured to make sure it does not exceed the 13 ounces. If it exceeds 13 ounces, that means you probably used extra material because those bags are under or equal to 13 ounces. We will be putting everything together through hot glue. That's how we will be attaching all of our sticks because it's a quick dry and it's easier to work with. So we will be doing that. Now, let me show you real quick our testing device. Here is our testing device right here. If you can see, the basket is what the weight counts. We will put weight in that basket, and that varies from 26 pounds to 5 to 1 to half pounds. You will put your weight in there as dictated. On the right side is a counterweight. We have special weights that go on there, and you will apply counterweights as you seem or deem fit to help counterbalance, counterweight the actual weight of the crane. If you take a look at this one, you see how the counter jib is only 4 inches on the right side, and it's longer on the left. You get to pick and choose what side is a counterweight, what side is your basket weight. So you will be able to pick and choose whatever you design on that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.